I started an AI company. I started an AI company a year ago and made $0. But I don't think year one was a failure. It was the market education phase. I was a ServiceNow developer for 7 years. I quit my job and started building because I saw the AI wave coming. I thought building good tools, I would be successful. I assumed if I built something, people would use it. So here are the core lessons from year one of starting an AI company in enterprise IT. I built tools for ServiceNow developers. Developers liked them, but nobody bought them. One of the main things I learned was that your user is not the buyer. I spent way too long months building tools for ServiceNow developers, and they like them, would kind of use them, but they don't control budgets. They don't have a checkbook. They don't pay, all right? So building stuff for developers, I thought was a good idea because I was a developer before, and I was like, okay, I'll make things to make a developer's life easier. And guess what? I made no money. They don't have the budget. Go to 2. I felt really productive building instead of validating. So I would default to building because in my tech brain, building usually meant, okay, I'm progressing, I'm adding things, I'm building things. But what I ended up doing was just building things nobody wanted or even asked for. I didn't learn anything, and I felt productive when I was building and making things and putting it out, shipping, but literally nothing happened. So the old loop was idea, build, hope. Now I idea, talk to the client, talk to your ICP, validate, small demo, repeat. Number 3, your first idea is almost never the business. I tried multiple directions, dev tools, AI automation, different product angles. I want to hammer this home if you are starting a company. Real insights come from conversations with your buyers, and you can't be scared to go talk to them. Year one is mostly about finding the real problem you're going to be solving. Building in public accelerates learning. I can't overstate this enough how important it is to build in public. Sharing demos, experiments, and ideas publicly creates feedback loops you don't get privately. People react, challenge your assumptions, and you quickly see what resonates. The market will react faster than your own thinking here. And it creates feedback, inbound, more credibility, and clearer thinking. I want to say this was one of the hardest things I went through because I was legitimately scared. I was worried about what people would think about me. I was just strangled by that fear of what will these people think about me? What if I fail? What if I look stupid? And then I committed to posting every single day. I said, this is the only way I can reach my goals. I will post every single day. And you know what happened? I didn't die. And you know what? I ended up starting to like it because as you grow, I met more people. I made more connections. People reached out to me. I started learning things. It accelerated my learning so much that I can't believe I didn't start sooner. I wasted so much time in the beginning not posting. So what I would say is post and be annoying, because who cares? If you reach your goals, who cares? 5. So this is for my tech people out there. And this might be something that business people understand, but I personally just didn't. One conversation beats weeks of building. One call reveals the real pain a customer's facing, current solutions they're using, and why your current idea probably sucks and they don't want it. Especially when you're talking to people inside your niche that you're targeting. I spent so long thinking, planning, coming up with ideas for why things wouldn't work, why things would work. When in reality, I should have just reached out to the customer and said, hey, can I learn from you? That would have saved me months probably, okay? So if you're out there, get client conversations. Those matter way more than building a new stupid feature. Because a lot of times what you think the client wants is not what they want. Number 6, conferences are high leverage. You compress months of outreach into days. Because you meet buyers, you validate ideas, and you build those relationships. And I just went to 2. I went to Charlotte, and then I went to Boston. And I saw some of the same people from Charlotte in Boston. And then we connected again. And they were like, oh, Mitchell, good to see you. You're back again? Why are you here? You're from Atlanta. Why are you in Boston? And I was like, I'm here to network. I'm here to connect. Because you go to these conferences, you learn how the business actually works. because what I thought as a developer and how the business kind of worked is not how it works. So I went to everyone at these conferences and I talked to everybody because I wanted to learn. Like, what's going on? What do you do? How does this work? How does this fit into this like puzzle piece business structure? Because the more you understand, the better you can serve your customers and clients. The density of the conversations change how fast your ideas evolve. So go to conferences. Now, number 7, no one buys AI tools. Enterprise buyers rarely purchase something because it's technically interesting. They buy things that reduce risk, compress timelines, or improve their margins. If you're a developer out there, learn these. If the outcome isn't obvious, the product is hard to sell. Literally care about making more money, reducing the amount of mistakes they have, increasing their client satisfaction. Year 1 is mostly learning. Maybe for other people it's not, for me it was. Year 1 was a ton of learning. Understanding the market, finding these real problems, shedding that tech brain, growing that business brain. Now we're going into year 2. It's the year 2 shift. Year 1, I was building things I thought people would want. Year 2, I'm only working on problems I know people will pay for. Start with a buyer. I'm not starting with users anymore. I'm starting with people who actually control the budget or feel the pain financially. I will validate before I build anything. I won't build something unless I've heard the same problem multiple times from people who could actually buy it. I'm going to shorten the loop aggressively. Instead of disappearing for weeks building, I'm running tight loops, conversations, insights, prototyping, back to the market. Spend more time in the market than in code. Huge. The biggest change is I'm spending more time talking to people than sitting behind a screen building. Only focus on economic problems. If a problem doesn't tie to revenue, risk, margin, or time, I'm probably not working on it. Use content as distribution, not just sharing. Posting and building in public isn't just for visibility, it's how I get feedback, conversations, and direction. The biggest realization for me is this: building a company isn't about building the best product. It's about building something people are already trying to solve. If year 1 was me trying to figure out what to build, year 2 is me making sure I'm building the right thing.